ज्योति स्टेनो टाइपिंग कॉलेज में आप सभी का स्वागत है बच्चों। ये एसएससी के लिए 100 WPM का जो टेस्ट है ग्रेड सी का, ये उसके लिए जैसे क्लास है। अच्छा, मैं पहले अनुमान बता देता हूँ। जिन बच्चों के नंबर 140 और 145 के बीच में, 140 या इसके 45 के बीच में, तो उनका अब की बार सी में हो जाएगा। अब की बार ये नहीं है भी कट ऑफ बहुत ज़्यादा जाएगी। तेरे कितने नंबर है? 140 पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू दो। और तेरे 137। नहीं, तुम्हारी कैटेगरी क्या है? तो ओबीसी है ना। हाँ, तो ओबीसी में तो इसमें कम नंबर करते चले जाओ ना। यहाँ पर 135 से 140 जनरल की बात है। जनरल जो है, जनरल बच्चे की अगर 140 से 145 नंबर हैं तो सी पे वो खड़ा हो सकता है। डी से सी में जाना, यानी कि एक स्टेनोग्राफर जो डी से सी में जाता है उसके लिए वो 10 साल ले लेता है। और जो स्टेनोग्राफर सी लगता है वो पीए 5 साल में बन जाता है। एक किस्म का वो पीए ही होता है और ये काफ़ी बड़ी पोस्ट तक ये पहुंच जाता है, यानी कि जो सी से भर्ती होता है। तो यानी कि सी की पोस्ट काफ़ी बड़ी होती है। तो मैं पहली डिक्टेशन 100 की पढ़ने जा रहा हूँ, तो इसको बड़े अच्छे से लिखिएगा और कोशिश कीजिएगा भी अच्छी लिखी जाए, और जो है फिर इसको आप अच्छे से टाइप भी कर पाएँ। Dictation start after 5 seconds. Sir, I rise to oppose the motion moved by my colleague Sri Kulkarni. All I know is that the President's speech is a policy statement of the government. When I was listening to and when I was reading the speech, I would say I was very much disappointed just because I could not find any indication of any change in the policies of the government which they are following for the past 2 years. I am not going to the past history. I thought the government would at least review, critically examine their policies and programs and the results while they are implementing them, and they would evolve new policies and programs according to the review. Unfortunately, such a demand was not made in the earlier statement. Instead of that, so far as I was listening to the speeches made from the ruling party, what I find is they are trying to justify them. They are making tall claims about the achievements of the government. Of course, when a specific question comes, they also have some criticism to offer. That is good, but the main thrust of the discussion was that everything done during the past 2 or 3 years is correct, essentially correct, by and large correct. That was the tone, that was the thrust of the speech. I do not agree with such assessment of the situation. I am totally opposed to such an assessment. In this document itself, in this speech itself, I find so many important issues have been missed or omitted. I am not going into the details of all those issues because my time is only limited. Some issues have been pointed out by my colleague just now. What I was saying is I want to mention only 3 important items which are omitted, which are agitating the minds of our people. There is not a single word in the policy document about land reforms. Now we are to go back saying the old stories of abolition of jamindari system. Of course, I have no quarrel over that. Let us see what is happening today in several states like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, or Tamil Nadu. I do not want to mention other problem states like Bengal. I do not think that much tension is going on there. That is why I have not mentioned Bengal. In these states that I have mentioned, landowners have formed their own Sena. It is something that never happened in any part of India. Now they are forming their own Senas, their own armies, and they are fighting the agricultural workers. Do you know how many agricultural workers have been killed last year? I do not have the exact number how many agricultural workers have been killed in Bihar. How many houses of agricultural workers have been burnt? Why? Because we are not earnestly implementing the laws that are passed, or because we are not earnestly making attempt to pass new legislations. In fact, the president further said that the peace on our borders is still uneasy and vigilance cannot be relaxed. True vigilance cannot be relaxed, but the vigilance can also be maintained if the prosperity of the country's economy increases in all aspects. Economy will bring political stability, and economic stability together will bring prosperity to the country. And if the prosperity is to the country, it is to the whole nation, to every citizen of this country. The president has very rightly noted that the slow progress in the industrial sector has been causing concern. If this one particular aspect which is causing concern could have been taken care of, I for one am convinced that most of the problems would have been solved. Let us now look to the industrial licensing policy. There are some extremists here who say that the licensing policy should be completely abolished, while there are others who feel that the licensing policy is the only panacea for all the problems. I feel that while the industrial licensing policy to a certain extent has been a check on the development of industries, on the other side, the licensing policy has also acted as a fillip to a few and has stopped the progress for many others. Instances are not lacking where licenses have been taken away by many big houses and individuals, individuals who have never been in business, individuals who do not know what exactly business is. Instances are also not lacking where those are given to others for some pecuniary gain, or they have not utilized them, thus blocking the capacity for other entrepreneurs who would have been able to establish industries within a short time. In fact, many times many of the industries suffer because the basic raw material for those industries depends on other industries. And if some of them belong to the public sector, I am not in any way undermining them. I only say it with all respect that the public sector undertakings get away with a nicely drafted letter forgetting about the consequences which it will have on the entire economy of the country. It is in this context that I say that the licensing policy and system which has come to stay in this country and which is difficult to abolish in the circumstances that are there now should be modified in such a manner that it does not act as a hindrance but acts as a tool of further development. I would submit that if any person has taken up license and has not implemented it within a certain period of time, the government should take care that licenses are not given in future to those persons. That would be one way of ensuring that the rated capacities are not affected. There are तो ये वर्ड बता देता हूँ पहले कितने 996 हैं ये वर्ड, और 32 का बनाना
32 का सर
0.5 ही हो गया, 999 डिवाइड बाई 8.5। स्पीड थी 117 की, 117 की स्पीड थी। वेबसाइट पे जाओगे तो एक फोल्डर मिलेगा SSC 100 WPM डिक्टेशन, SSC 100 WPM डिक्टेशन, और उसकी पहली डिक्टेशन है, वहाँ पर जाकर के इसको आप टाइप कर सकते हैं। इस क्लास के जितना ही बच्चों उसका बच्चों